Good morning class 7 students. In this video, I have given you some diagrams of nervous system. So please go through the video properly and draw the level diagram in your life science exercise book. So students, here is the content. First diagram is synaptic bulb, second one is nerve anatomy, third one is cranial nerves, fourth one is spinal nerves, fifth one parts of brain, sixth one spinal cord, and the last one reflex action. First, I am discussing about synaptic bulb. First you see the diagram. In index, synaptic bulb diagram separately given with neuron and axon diagram. Okay, first I am explaining. After that, diagrammatically I'll tell you how to write it down. So let's start. A neuron is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system. It is made up of the cell body called cyton and an elongated projection called axon. The cell body consists of cytoplasm and the nucleus. It gives out branched cytoplasmic projections called dendrites for receiving stimulus and transmitting nerve impulse to the cyton. The axon is the conducting unit of the neuron arising from the cell body. A protective fatty covering called the myelin sheath envelops the long axons. It provides insulation to the axon. The axons transmit nerve impulses away from the cell body. The distal end of axon is branched into axon terminals that ends in a bulb-like structure called synaptic bulb. The synaptic bulb contains neurochemicals called neurotransmitters. The junction between two neurons, that is, between dendrite of one neuron and the axon terminal of the immediately next neuron is called a synapse. So, we can say that an axonic end at synapse is called axonic end bulb. It may also be termed presynaptic knob. Second point, the end bulb contains synaptic vesicles which are filled with a neurotransmitter substance. Third point, a nerve impulse travels down the axon and reaches the end bulb. The neurotransmitter is released into a small space, the synaptic cleft. So, the last 3 points are the points that you can write in exam, okay, for your answer. Now see the diagrams. Synapse has been shown. Synaptic cleft. Number 1, see the index 1. Number 1 is synaptic end bulb. Number 2, membrane of receiving cell. Number 3, neurotransmitter substance. That small green color round one. Okay. Number 4, nerve impulse. That arrow. Number 5, synaptic vesicles. The bigger one comparatively, the green colored vesicles. And number 6, synaptic cleft. The 6 white arrow. 6 white arrow. Okay. An axon from transmitting cell. That means synaptic bulb generally found over there. That's why it has been only shown in the neuron diagram. Hope so you have understood the level diagram properly. So now you can draw it and you can level it properly. And don't forget to give the caption. Now next diagram is anatomy of a nerve. First question is, what is nerve? Nerves are a collection of neurons, which are the individual nerve cells. Nerves can be damaged by diabetes, known as neuropathy. So, several bundles of axons of separate neurons enclosed in a tubular sheath forms a nerve. A nerve is a whitish fiber that provides a pathway for the electrical impulses from the central nervous system, that is brain and spinal cord, to be transmitted to different parts of the body. What is nerve anatomy? Nerve in anatomy, a glistering white cord-like bundle of fibers surrounded by a sheath that connects the nervous system with other parts of the body. The nerves conduct impulses towards or away from the central nervous mechanism, or else you can say central nervous system, that is CNS. Now see the diagram properly. Anatomy of one nerve only has been shown over here. Okay. So see, connective tissues are there, myelin sheath are there. That means in neuron also, you know, it's a part of neuron, myelin sheath, and neuron is part of nerve. So that's why myelin sheath has been shown over here. Axons are there, obviously myelin sheath around the axons. And see, both type of axon has been shown, myelinated and non-myelinated. Both type of axons has been shown. Blood vessels, obviously they are there within the nerves. Hope so you have understood. It's a very simple diagram. Try to draw this diagram properly with proper leveling and proper caption. Now cranial nerves. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves arising from the brain. So in higher vertebrates, that is reptiles, birds, mammals, there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. The names are olfactory, CN1, that means cranial nerves 1. Please don't miss the order. Whenever you will write down on, or you will learn these names, do it order wise. Okay. So first one is olfactory, second one is optic, third one oculomotor, fourth one trochlear, fifth one trigeminal, sixth one abducent, seventh one facial, eighth one vestibulocochlear, ninth one glossopharyngeal, 10th one vagus, 11th one accessory, and the 12th one hypoglossal. Now see the diagram. Olfactory, oculomotor, trochlear, abducens, vestibulocochlear, hypoglossal, accessory, glossopharyngeal, vagus, facial, trigeminal, and optic. Okay. Hope so you have understood. One thing I want to tell you, no need to draw this diagram as such, but if the question will come like this, that name the 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and maybe the marks will be 2 or 3, then if you will give the diagrammatic structure at least along with the names, so your marks will be increased. That's why please try to draw this diagram, obviously level diagram, with a proper caption. Now spinal nerves. There are 31 pairs of spinal nerves originating from the spinal cord. So in humans, there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Names are 8 cervical nerves. That is C1, C for cervical, C1 to C8. So you can count like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So C1 to C8, 8 cervical nerves emerge from the cervical spine, that is neck. See the diagram, you will understand. Neck portion, that blue portion. See 1 to 8. Okay, cervical enlargement has been given. Next one, 12 thoracic nerves emerge from the thoracic spine, that is mid back, T1 to T12. See this T1 to T12, you can understand green color and yellow color. Okay, these are all thoracic nerve. Next one, 5 lumbar L1 to L5 nerves emerge from the lumbar spine, that is lower back. See L1 to 5, that's blue color and blue colors only. Okay. Now the next one, 5 sacral S1 to S5 nerves emerge from the sacrum, the triangular bone at the base of the spine. See S1 to 5, triangular bone. And the last one coccygeal nerve. Okay. Hope so you have understood. No need to draw this diagram, but diagrammatically by drawing a spinal cord by a straight line and with different colors, you can show this along with the names. This skull portion, no need to draw, don't worry, it is not in your syllabus. But I have given the diagram because I think so. With diagram, you can easily memorize the thing. And life science is nothing without diagrams. Okay. Now this diagram is about parts of brain, different parts of our brain. So what are the different parts of the brain? First one is cerebrum, second one is brainstem, and the third one is cerebellum. Okay, so first one, cerebrum. The cerebrum, front of brain, is composed of the right and left hemispheres, which are joined by the corpus callosum. Second one is brainstem. The brainstem, middle of the brain, includes the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla. And the third one is cerebellum. It is smaller in size and is located under the cerebrum at the back of the head. It is made up of two cerebellar hemispheres. These two hemispheres are joined together by pons, which forms a bridge below it. Now, each hemisphere has 4 sections called lobes: frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital. Each lobe controls specific functions. For example, the frontal lobe controls personality, decision making, and reasoning, while the temporal lobe controls memory, speech, and sense of smell. Now see the diagram. Parietal, occipital, temporal, frontal. 4 different lobes are there, and this is called cerebrum portion. Now see the another diagram. Here cranium is there, that means the covering, cortex, and the white portion, basal ganglia portion, that white portion around this, that is medulla. Brainstem, spinal cord starts, cerebellum portion, the lower portion, and dura. Everything has been cleared, hope so. Try to draw the second diagram just diagrammatically. Level diagram we will draw with caption. There are 2 diagrams, spinal cord and spinal meninges. First, I am telling you what is spinal cord. The spinal cord is a cylindrical structure located inside the vertebral column. It extends from the medulla oblongata to the end of the vertebral column. It is made up of 31 segments. Each segment gives out with a pair of spinal nerves already discussed earlier. The spinal cord transmits nerve impulses from different organs in the body to the brain and vice versa. It also controls reflex actions. So the spinal cord is a long, thin tubular structure basically made up of nervous tissue, which extends from the medulla oblongata in the brainstem to the lumbar region of the vertebral column. It encloses the central canal of the spinal cord, which contains cerebrospinal fluid or CFS fluid. Artery within the spinal cord is called spinal artery. Vein within the spinal cord is called spinal vein. A spinal cord is part of central nervous system or CNS, and its Latin name is medulla spinalis. Now, moving forward to the next diagram, that is spinal meninges. First, let me talk about the first diagram first. See the spinal cord diagram: skull, that is brain, cervical vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae, lumbar vertebrae, sacrum, and last one is coccygeal vertebrae. Total thing is spinal cord. Now moving forward to the next diagram. Spinal meninges. The meninges refer to the membranous coverings of the brain and spinal cord. There are three layers of meninges known as the dura mater, arachnoid mater, and pia mater. You just see this spinal cord. Pia mater is first one, arachnoid mater is the second one, and dura mater is the third one. Hope so you have understood this. So try to draw the diagram obviously with proper caption and proper leveling. Now the reflex action. An automatic, quick and sudden response to a sensory stimulus which is controlled by the spinal cord is called reflex action. All reflex actions occur unconsciously and there is no involvement of the brain to such actions. Some reflexes are natural, others are acquired. The natural reflexes are inherited from parents, while acquired reflexes develop during lifetime after learning them. Applying brakes when someone suddenly appears in front of a moving car is an example of acquired reflex. Withdrawing the hand suddenly when a finger touches a cactus-like plant is also an example of natural reflex action. Now, what is reflex action then? A reflex or reflex action is an involuntary and nearly instantaneous movement in response to a stimulus. A reflex is made possible by neural pathways called reflex arcs, which can act on an impulse before that impulse reaches the brain. So what happens actually in reflex action? There are three main types of neuron: sensory neuron, motor neuron, and relay neuron. These different types of neurons work together in a reflex action. A reflex action is an automatic or involuntary and rapid response to a stimulus, which minimizes any damage to the body from potentially harmful conditions, such as touching something hot or touching something like cactus plant and like this. Now see the diagram. So total reflex action has been shown. Sensory neuron, motor neurons are there. Sensation relate to the brain. Suppose when you are touching a cactus plant, sensory receptors are there at your finger. So it actually pain, you feel pain, that pain is passing to the brain through sensory neurons. And after that, after reaching over there by relay neuron, it will convert into motor neuron, and a response you will give. You will give a response. That is by efferent one. And that response is, you have to take out your hand from that cactus. This total process is called reflex action. Draw this diagram also. No problem. Draw this diagram also with a proper caption and proper leveling. Thank you, students. Draw the level diagrams in your life science exercise copy. For any doubts or queries, please email me at sudeshna1.sma@outlook.com. Even you need to send your life science assignment in this given email ID. If you are not understanding any diagram again, so you can send me your problem. I'm always there with you.